All right, buckle up because today we're going deep into one of history's coldest cases. Literally.
Colder than a polar bear's nose.
That's one way to put it. We're talking about the Dyatlov Pass Incident.
Ah, yes. The mystery in the mountains.
You know the one? 9 hikers experienced, gone. Vanished in the Ural Mountains back in '59.
And under some seriously strange circumstances, too.
Strange is putting it lightly. Tent ripped open from the inside. Bodies scattered. Some with injuries that'll make you shiver.
It's the kind of story that keeps you up at night.
Exactly. And we're going to try and make sense of it all. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay, first things first. Picture this. January 1959. Deep in the Ural Mountains of Russia. 10 hikers, all students and recent grads from the Ural Polytechnical Institute. They're on a trek led by this guy, Igor Dyatlov.
And these aren't your weekend warriors, right? This is a skilled group, experienced hikers.
Oh yeah, they knew their way around the wilderness. They were prepped for the harsh winter conditions, the whole 9 yards. Their goal was to reach this mountain, the Torton.
Famous peak, bit of a local legend.
But they never made it. Weeks later, a search party finds their tent, abandoned, on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl.
Which translates to Dead Mountain. Not exactly a good sign.
Nope. And get this, the tent was ripped open from the inside, like someone was desperately trying to get out fast.
Makes you think, doesn't it? What could have spooked them so badly?
Right, and it gets weirder. The search party found footprints leading away from the tent. Some were barefoot, some in just socks.
In the snow.
In the freezing Russian winter snow.
Talk about a panicked escape. Something really shook them up.
And as the search continued, things got even more unsettling. They started finding the bodies, scattered across the mountainside, some miles from the tent.
Over several weeks they found them in different locations. It's like they just scattered.
In the injuries?
Yeah, the injuries were something else.
Some had, like, massive internal trauma.
Yeah.
Crushed ribs, fractured skulls, but no external wounds.
Like they were hit by something, but you couldn't see what.
One hiker was even missing their tongue and eyes.
Gruesome stuff. And to top it off, many of the bodies had this weird orange discoloration to their skin.
Okay, so we've got a deserted tent, a panicked escape, bizarre injuries, and a mountain with a name that basically screams, run. What in the world happened?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Let's start with the usual suspects. Avalanche. It's a mountainous region.
Makes sense. Could explain the injuries, maybe the scattering of the bodies.
Right. But the terrain and the way the tent was found didn't really add up for an avalanche.
So what else? Hypothermia?
Possible. Hypothermia can cause some pretty strange behavior, like paradoxical undressing.
Hold on. Paradoxical what now? Undressing in that freezing cold.
Sounds crazy, but it's a real thing. When your body's core temperature drops drastically, it can trigger this messed up response. Your blood vessels constrict, trying to preserve heat.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then your body gets confused. It misinterprets the constriction as warmth, like you're overheating. So you start shedding clothes.
Whoa. Your body tricks you into freezing to death. That's messed up.
It is. But even paradoxical undressing doesn't explain those severe internal injuries or, the missing body parts.
True. So we need something stronger, more powerful.
Exactly. That's where some of the more unusual theories come in, like infrasound.
Infrasound.
Low-frequency sound waves, sometimes caused by wind hitting the mountains. It can mess with your head big time. Disorientation, panic, nausea, even physical pain.
So you're saying these sound waves could have caused the hikers to freak out, run from the tent, and even hurt them?
That's the theory. It explains the panic, maybe even some of the internal injuries. But here's the catch. There's no solid evidence of strong winds or any known infrasound sources in the area at the time.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing.
Exactly. And that's kind of the theme with the Dyatlov Pass Incident. There's always something that doesn't quite fit.
So where do we go from here? We've got avalanches, we've got hypothermia, we've got sound waves that can make you go crazy. What else is there?
Well, that's where things get a little more out there.
Out there how? Give me the good stuff.
Well, there's the military testing theory. Some folks believe the hikers stumbled into a secret military zone and got caught in some kind of experiment gone wrong.
Intriguing.
Then there's the Yeti theory.
Wait, Yeti, like the abominable snowman?
The one and only. Some say the hikers were attacked by a Yeti, which would explain the injuries and the missing body parts.
Okay, now that's just wild. But hey, it's the Dyatlov Pass. We've already got orange skin and invisible forces.
Right. At this point, anything's on the table. But here's the thing with these wilder theories. There's no real evidence to back them up.
So we're left with a whole lot of questions and very few answers. after all this, we still don't know what happened on that mountain.
Nope. And we probably never will. But that's what makes this case so captivating. It forces us to think outside the box.
It reminds us that there are still mysteries out there. Things we can't explain. It's a little bit unsettling, but also exciting. You know?
Absolutely. The Dyatlov Pass incident is like a puzzle with no solution. It's up to us to put the pieces together and make our own conclusions. What do you think happened out there?
I honestly don't know. But I'm going to keep researching, keep reading those theories, keep staring at those photos. Maybe one day, something will click.
That's the spirit, and that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. It's a mystery that belongs to all of us, a puzzle we all get to try and solve.
So, if you're listening, we challenge you to do the same. Dive into the Dyatlov Pass incident, read up on the theories, look at the evidence, and see what you make of it. Maybe, just maybe, you'll find the missing piece.
Until then, keep searching.